4, 3, 2.
This is 2OF Entertainment.
It's Wednesday morning, or as David likes to call it, Hollywood Wednesday morning.
Hollywood Wednesday.
Hollywood Wednesday, yes. How you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't wait to see what we have this week.
Well, we started off the last week's show and we were talking about. Well, let's just get straight into it because
Sure.
we started off the show last week where people were like, seriously. Well, you had a rant to start off with,
I always have a rant. Yeah.
And then we asked people to rant, and so I've got lots of rants.
Nice.
So I decided that what we would do, I think, going forward, is that we would have rant of the week.
Ooh,
so,
okay.
So that's what we're going to do. So here we go. Rant of the week. Stephen.
Okay. Let's see. Why do expiration dates have to be so cryptic?
Indeed.
Can't they just say this will make you sick if you eat it after this date? I don't need to decode secret message. Your yogurt is still good. So here's what I know about expiration dates. It's all bullshit and made up.
Okay. Well, there you go.
They don't actually. Maybe milk, but everything else is all make believe. I've seen enough shows and read enough stuff on it that it basically says that it's a suggested date. It's not a real date.
Okay.
If you look at like a Twinkie, they expire in the year 3057.
I don't particularly want to look at your Twinkie, but
a lot of girls like to look at my Twinkie. But I'm just saying, if you like Twinkies, then they expire, I think, at the end of the next millennia. So
that's very much an Americanism. Twinkies. Yes. I don't think.
Yes.
I don't think us Europeans know too much about Twinkies.
So Twinkie is a for lack of a better term, like a pastry with cream filling inside.
Okay, I thought it was a sausage.
No,
that's a wiener.
That's what we give. That's what we give freshman girls in university. But anyway, so Twinkies are whatchamacallit. Twinkies are basically just a cream-filled pastry that are bad for you, and the only thing that'll survive after a nuclear holocaust will be Twinkies and cockroaches. So
okay. All right. So this particular rant then from this particular person, I mean, are they a knob for ranting about these expiry dates? Because I mean, what when you go to your fridge and it says it's a half an hour over where it should be? I mean, should we be?
Listen, I eat things all the time that say they're expired, and I'm fine. So more scotch. Anyway, no, I mean, I eat stuff all the time that says it's expired, and there's no problem. Then I watched a doctor, and then there was a report. I forgot one of the economists, the FT, the journal, who knows, and it was talking about expiration dates, and it's really a suggested date, except for milk, because I guess milk goes bad. But you remember back in the day when they would do that, we didn't have the refrigeration we have today. We didn't have the air conditioning we had today. We didn't have any of that, right? We just had X.
So what do you think this is then? Well, my gut feeling always about this sort of stuff is that it gives the shop an opportunity, a little bit of space, because they know I have to move the stock on, if it's dairy goods or whatever. I mean, there are people who literally will go, because it all gets marked down here, otherwise in the US.
Yeah, same here.
To like get 30% off or whatever. And there's a whole lot of people who go shopping just for that label, the 30% off label.
There's a place where I used to live that the bakery at the end of the day, what they would charge like a big French loaf of bread or whatever, like at 5 o'clock when they're closing at 6. The stuff they were charging anywhere from $2 to $10 for was literally like 50 cents.
Yeah. Well, I can
That just
understand
comes
that
out.
with bread. I mean, but at least you can make toast out of it. But I mean, yeah. I mean, what is it? Do you think it's the manufacturers trying to get us to, because there's so much food wastage anyway,
I think it's just.
or
I think it's a
give themselves a
psychological
little bit of
game. I think it's
yeah,
psychological. I think it's a psychological game that the supermarkets and the manufacturers play, and I think the consumers, especially nowadays, are too stupid to know what's going on. And back in the day, you would buy cheese or milk or whatever, and it'd be in the refrigerator forever, and it was fine. I
yeah,
think today with all the chemicals, maybe there's a difference. I know, like on prescription medication, they're like, oh, after a year it doesn't work. But like my doctor and I were talking once, and I said, really? And he goes, oh, like someone took, I
yeah.
took an
Well, yeah, it's the
aspirin.
same thing. I mean, like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
took an aspirin. Yeah, I took an aspirin like that was like 4 years after the expiration date, and it did the same job that the brand new one would have done. So I'm thinking it's
yeah,
all a bunch of crap. Um,
yeah.
so no,
I
I
think
don't
it's
like
just
it.
like the same thing about plasters as well. Sticking
Right.
plasters, they have an expiry date on them.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
But here's let
okay,
me
well,
but here's the thing though. If you look at like I don't know, I'm not a beer drinker, but I don't think beer has an expiration date. I know scotch doesn't, wine doesn't,
yeah,
cigars don't. And
yeah.
so I'm like,
Wine,
so if
not
they
all
don't,
wines. I mean, some wines don't lay properly, do they? So they don't
well, the ones in
improve.
the box I'm sure don't, because they expect
Yeah,
you to drink the box wine immediately. But I'm talking like a bottle of wine, as long as you keep turning the bottle a quarter every month, it
yeah.
will stay forever. I mean, I have cigars that are 50 years old. Some are and pre-embargo Cubans, which
Yeah, but
makes them over 60 years old.
that's only because you're a tight ass and you don't like to spend money,
Well,
Stephen. That's
that's
what it is.
that's very true.
Because
But
you,
I'm just saying though, but I smoke those and they're just as good as the ones I smoke that are like 5 years old.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
have a real problem with the expiration date, and I think that we've become a society of like, oh, if the manufacturer's looking out for us, and I'm like, the manufacturer doesn't give a rat's out about us.
No, 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 no,
Yeah,
no, no.
I don't believe that. I
So,
think the
so,
manufacturers
so,
know.
so let's just recap then a little bit. So this was
Sure.
not this was a reasonable rant then,
Yeah,
because I
I
had quite
think
a
so.
few rants because we asked you
Yeah.
to rant. So I had quite a few rants, and this was when I chose to be rant of this week. Obviously,
Okay.
next week there'll be even more rants coming. I
Oh,
am
how
sure.
exciting!
I'm sure. Excuse me. So, is this a valid rant for our new concept, No Snobs, No Knobs magazine / rant show? What do
Wow.
you think?
Who knew? I think I'm going to rant all about that next week. Um, yeah, I think it's interesting. It would be cool if we know about the rants ahead of time, and then we can actually prepare. And I can
No, no, because
yeah,
that way you can't wing it like you're doing
yeah.
now.
Damn it! I could do like a whole Bill Maher and read a script and like
Yeah,
look how smart I
look,
am that I wrote all this.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
actually,
well,
I had to write it.
before we move off onto more serious subjects, of which of
There's a
course there won't
serious
be any.
subject. Okay.
No, no, but it sounded good,
Okay.
didn't it?
Okay.
But
Yeah, it did.
so what particular pebble do you have in your shoe this week? Just the
Wow.
one, not the whole liturgy of stuff like we normally get. Just one rant, please.
I don't, this so far, everything seems like it's okay. The only big rant that I
Oh,
have,
wow.
the only big rant that I have was kind of in The Economist today when it was talking about,
Are you
like,
cheating now?
just,
You're reading something
yeah,
while you.
I'm reading I want to read the article again, but it was talking about Trump and how he's gaming the justice system. And that to me is sort of like gaming. Gaming meaning playing it, making
All
it
right.
look stupid. And it was
Well,
literally
is it not a win-win from him then? Because if he gets whatever, if he gets a serious smack on his fingers or a fine or whatever, has to go to prison, that just seems to boost all his supporters. It just
so
sees him as being
what
like,
the article is interesting. The article said so if they find him guilty and they send him to jail, there's no jail that's really made for a president with Secret Service detail. You know what I mean? It's like we don't have a prison made for presidents that go to jail, right? Because
you
it's
won't need
never really
Secret
happened.
Service, will you?
Well, you would have to take Secret Service because their job is to protect them. So you'd have to protect him in jail because I'm sure somebody would want to do him harm.
Is that what it is? Even after you're president, you still have
You still
Secret
get
Service.
Secret Service protection even after
Well,
you're president.
they'll have to queue up with it to get the slop with him now.
However it would work. That or they put him in the Supermax in the middle of nowhere, Colorado, where they house arrest or whatever. So my thing is that
ankle,
I was reading
might be an
about.
ankle bracelet or something.
Yeah, I'm sure. But I was reading that, and it was just fascinating. Like he's gaming the system. The really loyal Trump supporters don't care about his trials. The rest of America kind of cares. And I'm just reading about how he's gaming the system and doing this and doing that. And I'm like, interesting. So it's not much of a rant. It was more of like, wow, that's interesting. I mean, really, since last Wednesday, if you will, everything's been good. I mean, a little air turbulence. We
Well,
talked about on
let me just apologize to everybody who obviously are tuning in
for the
to
rant.
hear a Stephen rant, because you haven't even got one. So
I don't have one this week because everything is really just. This week has been, can I say, globally, it's been a good week globally. Everybody seems to just hate each other where they were last week. No, there's no more hate. There's no less hate. We're all good. I mean, South Africa is going to have elections. I can't rant on that until I see who wins. But I mean, it's one of those. It was one of those. It was the last 168 hours where it's like, okay, nothing happened. Good. I mean, and I can't rant against the mudslide in Papua New Guinea where 20,000, I think it's either 2,000 or 20,000 people are presumed dead. That's terrible.
Well, you could rant about the fact that might have been a typo. Obviously, because you can't work
yes, it could have been. I read it wrong too. So it could have gone either way. But I'm just saying, it just seems that the world this last 7 days has been okay. And I'm like, good. And nothing set me off. So I was happy with that. It's once in a while, not to be set off. Are you kidding? That's awesome. I'm okay with that.
Well, let's move on to some more serious stuff then.
Okay. I see. This is coming up. Oh, here we go.
There you go. You are allowed to pick one which you consider to be either snobby or knobby by the time we're finished. But there you go.
All right. Here we go. Feathers from existing New Zealand birds sell for a record-breaking $28,000.
Yeah, it was extinct, in fact. It was an instant.
Yeah, sure. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever. Okay, you want me to rant? I'll be back. I can rant on that.
You got 1 to 6 rants.
I can see that. Getting buzzed. Cardiff University develops killer bee beer made using extract from killer bees' gut microbe. Are you serious? How stupid are people? Oh my God! You should just give me this. I can rant on this stuff all day. Number 3, USA. Idaho man judges a juggles blindfold for an hour to break the Guinness World Book of Records. Is this like the idiot that juggled a lawnmower on his chin? The same idiot?
I think it may well be, but there seems to be this obsession with breaking the Guinness Book of Records.
What a friggin' idiot, this guy. All right, anyway. A gathering of Kyles. Oh, oh my God! Are you serious? And Kyle, Texas. Wait. I live 30 minutes away from Kyle, Texas.
I know you do. I looked it up.
I bet you did. Gathering of Kyles. The city of Kyle, Texas, makes one last push for the Guinness World Record. I guess of the gathering of Kyles. These people have no life.
I think there's somewhere in southern in the old East Bloc or whatever. There was a gathering of the Ivans or something like that. They hold the world record. But they've tried before. The city of Kyle has tried before.
I'm sure it has. Yeah.
To get all these Kyles in there to get the world record, because obviously you want to go. When you've been to Kyle, which I've never been.
I have. You blink, you go through it.
Okay. Well, you won't do next time, of course, because you'll be able to buy the T-shirt that says Guinness World Record holder, or the mug, or whatever.
That unless the city of Kyle is sending it to me, not happening. And my name's not Kyle, so I'm good. All right, what do we have? Drumheller, Alberta. Oh, Canada. These people are just right off the bat. Okay, it's high turnout turns dine record attempt into a Tyrannosaurus wreck. I don't really.
It's a high turnout turns the dino record So they wanted
Yeah.
everybody to be dressed as a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, see, that
But
says
they had,
Oh, I thought that was an E. I didn't see the O. So dino record attempt.
yeah,
Okay.
also,
So high turnout turns
the,
the dino record attempt. I apologize. Okay.
yeah, well, that's all right. The new eyes are in the post. So
I
they
know.
again, it's a bit like the city of Kyle. They
Sure.
wanted everybody to truck up dressed as Tyrannosaurus Rex. Obviously, I mean, what else would you do with your free time? But the thing was, right, so many people trucked up
Yeah.
that they had to call it off because there were too many people. They didn't have enough judges, enough people to organize it, to count it, or to do whatever.
That means they would have gotten
That's
the record for the Guinness World Book of
possibly,
Records then.
possibly,
Yeah.
but that's why it
And
turned into a
and it sounds
Tyrannosaurus
like
Rex.
gotcha. And it sounds like the Kyle thing, there's 6 people that showed up, so they probably didn't make the Guinness World Book of Records.
Oh, well, you know, well, let's do a shout out to the mayor of Kyle, who's probably not
Sure.
called Kyle,
What's his name?
and he's let's say let's just assume he's not called Kyle, and then
Mayor
just say,
of
well,
hold
you know,
on, let's find out.
and just see whether or
Kyle,
not he'd like to
Texas.
come on the show and tell us about why
All
they
right, so
didn't succeed.
the mayor of Kyle, Texas is a gentleman
Yep.
named Travis Mitchell.
Okay.
Travis
Well,
Mitchell
shout
was
out
elected.
to Travis Mitchell.
Travis Mitchell, you are the mayor of Kyle, Texas, and he looks like a serial killer. Just so you know, he's got a shaved head, big smile, Jeffrey Dahmer's cousin. Just saying. But
Yeah.
congratulations, the mayor of Kyle, Texas.
And how far away is Kyle from you? 30 minutes away. I should be hiding in your nuclear bunker, Stephen. We're making statements.
I filmed from the nuclear bunker purposely because there could be a lot of Kyles. So yeah.
Yeah,
But
they'll be sending the boys around for you. I can tell you.
I'm gonna go meet the mayor and just say, why your picture do you need to redo it? He's got I'm sure he's a nice guy, but he's got this big grin and just his haircut and it just looks like Dahmer Party of 12. That's what his picture looks like. So I'm sure in person he's probably different. It's just the background's white and his picture it's not flattering at all. But congratulations to Travis.
I'm sure his mother loves him.
Well,
but it's either congratulations to the mayor, or you fucked up. You didn't do it quite correctly. I should say.
You know what? We should call the mayor. We should call Kyle today for fun, and say we'd like Travis to come on our show and talk about the gathering of Kyles. The gathering of Kyles, and ask him, why aren't you just having the gathering of Travises? Because your name is Travis.
Yeah.
Even though it says Kyle.
Well, you'd have to go. It's probably a Travis city or something.
It's a travesty that they didn't make it. Boom, boom. Thank you. I'm here till Thursday. Tip your
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, maybe they should get together with the people in Alberta. And then they could just say, well, to keep the numbers down, they could say, only people with a name of Kyle can be dressed as a Tyrannosaurus Rex and go to the Tyrannosaurus Rex, gathering in Alberta.
I got you one beat. Why can't you have the Tyrannosaurus Rex from Alberta go to Kyle and eat the Kyles? You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You can eat the Kyles. And then this way, you have the most Kyles gathered. You have the most people dressed like Tyrannosaurus Rex. Then Jeffrey Dahmer, the mayor guy, he and his Tyrannosaurus Rex can eat everybody. So there you go.
That solves 3 problems, doesn't it? Because first of all, it eats a lot of Kyles, so they're all gone. We don't have the Kyle problem anymore. And then secondly, as you quite rightly said, all the Tyrannosaurus Rexes are going to eat them. So they'll all be locked up for cannibalism. So that will solve that issue in Alberta. They'll never.
But if you think about this, it's just my plan is genius because you get the Guinness World Records for the amount of Kyles, and it's all organized by a guy named Travis, which right away is wrong on many levels. Then you get the most Tyrannosaurus Rex people dressed up in a costume, and there's another Guinness World Book of Records. And then, which has never been done, the people that are dressed like Tyrannosaurus Rex eat the Kyles. Even if they only eat 1 Kyle, Guinness World Book of Records. Now you've gotten 3 records 1 day.
Yeah. But
and just for shits and giggles, you can bring the blind guy in from Idaho or the blindfolded guy who juggles stuff for an hour.
Yeah. Yeah,
which is
and
dumbest thing in the
I
world.
don't know why it turned into a Guinness Book of Records. Because it must be short of news. So it just leaves us then to point number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6.
British boy. This is so stupid. The British boy peels 4 mandarin oranges in 1 minute to break Guinness World Book of Records. This kid should go to Kyle when they're eating the Tyrannosaurus Rex dressed people are eating the people in Kyle. They should be eating this kid and mandarin oranges because he couldn't get the 5. And now, instead of 3 Guinness World Book of Records, you have 4 Guinness World Book of Records. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Or he could be doing something slightly naughty. He could be peeling the Tyrannosaurus Rexes. Yeah.
That may be hard though.
Just to see whether or not they're called Kyle or not.
But I don't understand.
Well, that's
like
obvious.
I can rant about the boy with the 4 oranges. It's 15 seconds an orange, and I'm thinking to myself, can't you peel a mandarin orange quicker? I mean, next time I eat a mandarin orange, I'm gonna see how long it takes me because I may get a record. I get that. To me, is just sort of, I don't know. I'm underwhelmed with that, and
underwhelmed.
I'm underwhelmed.
That's a pretty knobby one then. That number 6.
Yeah, that's
number
pretty
6.
that's like I don't care about that. That's like you peel for it. Once again, I've never tried to peel a mandarin orange for time, but now I'm going to go get one and see how long it takes me to peel one. So what this is telling me is if I can peel one in 10 seconds, I can do 5 in a minute. I would get in the Guinness World Book of Records, and I can do that live on the air. So we may do that. Now, the one about the Tyrannosaurus. No, that's just that's cosplay. That's just a bunch of kinky people to me. The Kyles, I just want to interview the mayor, and so I can rant about that, but that's no fun unless the Tyrannosauruses are going to eat the Kyles and then eat the kid. The blindfolded guy, I'm sorry, this is like the idiot that did the lawnmower on his chin last week. I had nothing there. The Killer Bee beer, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. But I don't know if I can rant about that because I don't know enough about the beer. So is it good for you or bad?
It's supposed to be. You're supposed to give it a real kick because of this enzyme that they're using. Well, it's something in the gut of these killer bees that gives it a sort of a different flavor. I mean, either that or they're looking for a new grant or a new wing or a new room or new whatever to get because they just want to get themselves in the news. It would seem. So
it's low in alcohol. So here's the kid. Wait. Low in alcohol, high in enjoyment. This beer will not let you down. That's a commercial. I want to know about Killer Bee beer. Anyway, the one I would rant about. This is where I would go. Feathers from an extinct New Zealand bird sells for $28,000. Seriously, you have nothing better to do with your money. For $28,000, you have nothing better to do than to piss away 28 grand.
You know what they say? Find another one.
Find another bird?
Find another feather. That's the thing. Find another feather. And because you have the ultimate, when you come to my dinner party, right? Mm-hmm. Or if I go to one of your dinner parties, your cigar and Scotch dinner parties, and I say to you, I whip out my feather and say, have a look at that.
I'm a little nervous there. You said you're going to whip something out.
Yeah, well, for you, I'd whip out my. I was going to say whip out my feather.
For your Twinkie,
whip out my feather.
Yeah.
Right. There's a Freudian slip. I whip out my feather and say, look, I've just bought this for $28,417. And that you would immediately think
you're a fucking moron.
I was a snob. I
think you're a moron. Well, you wouldn't be a snob. You'd definitely be a knob. I'd be like, this guy's a knob. Seriously, $28,000 for a feather. Now, and maybe if you told me the bird, not that it was a stink bird, was it a bird from the prehistoric age? Was it a bird from a week and a half ago?
Well, there are two reasons why. There are 2 reasons why this bird is not mentioned.
Okay.
Firstly, lack of space, and secondly, it had a Latin name that I couldn't pronounce. So
gotcha. Okay.
So rather than embarrass you.
Yeah, I would have phonetically done it like I say everything phonetically. But wait a minute, did it say how old the bird was or when it went extinct?
No, it just said it was extinct. I mean, it could have been. It could have been a race of chickens that somebody, So, what are these? The last 500 chickens? Well, slaughter 449 of them, and then give me a feather from the last one. Same gig, isn't it?
Here's the interesting thing with this, though. Now, are you going to take these feathers and are you going to make these feathers like Jurassic Park? Are you going to try to bring it back to life now? Are you going to pull DNA out of the feather?
No, you're just going to take it to every dinner party you go to and say to everybody, I bought this feather for $28,417. Am I a snob or a knob? And let everybody
decide.
You're a
knob, and you're never getting laid. That's all I can say. This guy is $28,000 poor, and he's not getting. For $28,000, you could have bought anything better than feather. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I mean, I would have bought a book. I'm just saying. I don't know. And the biggest rant I do have is the Kyle thing. I think that's just funny to me. City of Kyle is just trying to get a bunch of Kyles together. I like my idea though that Tyrannosaurus is eating the Kyles, and now that there's a British boy with his 4 mandarin oranges. Is it because no one's tried to do this before? I just don't get why a mandarin orange takes 15 seconds to peel.
Well, it might be that he's a British boy. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's an age limit.
Or do you have to keep the peel all together? You can't break the peel. Maybe that's why.
I would imagine that's what it is. It's
not
like ripping it. It's not like ripping it off like your first girlfriend's underwear. That's not the way to do it. You have to take your time. You have to take your time and peel it
sure.
off.
You want to savor that. You want to savor the moment.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Too funny. Well, these were interesting. I don't give too much time.
So choose a number. Choose a number.
Yeah.
Which
number? It's between 1 and 3, I think.
Yeah.
Number 1 definitely makes you a knob.
Yeah.
That just makes you a knob right off the bat. You're a knob for that. And I think, what would you be a snob for? Really? I guess because of the Guinness. I guess if you're going to get beer, Killer Bee beer, that makes you a snob because everything else just makes you stupid. Like being juggling blindfold doesn't make you a knob or a snob. It just makes you dumb. The Kyle thing, that's your name. That makes you nothing. I mean, it makes you a human, but nothing to it other than we want to interview Travis, the mayor of Kyle, Texas. The dressing up as a Tyrannosaurus. I can't even comment. And then the British boy, I have to now look into what the rules are to peel a mandarin orange. So I have to lay that.
You were very quick. You were a little bit too quick there because you've had a chance to consider it. You said, "Oh, I could peel it," but if maybe it had to be peeled. You know what Guinness Book of Records is like.
I know.
I'll tell you. Even if you fart, it has to be done properly. So maybe it has to be.
There's these 2 girls that are driving 500 miles in toy cars.
Yeah.
They're driving from, I want to say, somewhere in Florida down to Key West, and they're raising money for animal awareness.
Yeah.
And someone sent me their video on Instagram, and they were saying that the Guinness World Book of Records, to validate their claim, I think they had to pay $6,000 or $10,000.
You have to pay. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm sorry, but why? I mean, I don't know, when I was a kid, everybody would buy the record, the big fat book. I don't think they sell the books anymore. But I was like, you want them to pay you to verify it? And I was like, and I listen, nothing against Guinness World Book. It's been around forever. That just seems like a scam that I have to pay you to verify. Like if you and I do something live on the air or recorded on the air, or in front of
are we going into a rant now? Are we going?
We're about to. Oh yeah, I'm going to rant against the Guinness World Book of Records. But if you do something, why am I paying you to verify it? Wouldn't the record of the press being there or whatever being there, like these girls are documenting their trip live on Instagram every day, and I think on YouTube.
But I thought you have to have somebody, a representative of the Guinness World Record, has to truck up and do it, an adjudicator.
Yeah, but why? Why can't I just record it live? Well,
because that way you can't charge $6,000. I mean, if somebody trucks up,
thank you very much.
With a green jacket, that's obviously. I mean, truck up with a green jacket on, with Guinness World Record on it, and they say right up with a clipboard. I think
it's a blue jacket now.
Is it? Oh, whatever. Maybe there's a Guinness Book of Records for, the amount of times I've got the facts wrong. But
all right, well, yeah, there you go. But yeah, I have a problem with that. I'm like, if you're setting a record, set a record. I mean, because when you set a world record at the Olympics, the Guinness World Book of Records isn't there. They're not charging you for it. It's the whole world's watching. No one's who's validating that.
Yeah, well, maybe there's like they have a deal with you know. I mean, like, again, if you win so many trophies and somebody validates that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or maybe they do say to the International Olympic Committee, if you want us to include that in the book, you have to pay.
Maybe.
Who knows?
That's crazy. But well, I just found it. I found it disheartening that here are these two girls trying to raise money for animals, you know, shelter animals, and they're trying to set a world record in these little toy cars. They're very cute, and they're doing their little, you know, they had to charge them every whatever. The cars go like a half a mile a week, and the Guinness World Book of Records is saying to them, no, you cannot. We can't validate it unless you pay us. I want to say 6,000. I think it was more, but I'm like, that's crazy. So this kid now, who just peeled 4 mandarin oranges, had to pay the Guinness World Book of Records. The guy who was blindfolded had to pay the Guinness World Book of Records. The city of Kyle, they had to pay the Guinness World Book of Records, and the Tyrannosaurus people who had to cancel it had to pay, even though they canceled it because they were, you know, basically all eating each other.
Yeah,
that's $24,000. That's $6,000 a clip.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. The guy who's record-breaking 28,417, does he have to pay to be in the Guinness World Book of Records for that to be?
No, but he has to pay like probably about 10% commission on it. So,
well,
or
30,000 US.
You know, so some
a buyer's premium. They call it a buyer's premium.
Yeah, but it could also be New Zealand dollars, couldn't it, or Aussie dollars, which is worth.
Oh, then that's like $7.50 US. It's nothing. I could have bought shit. I buy how many feathers you got? I buy 10 of them.
Yeah, you can buy the whole bird for that. The whole bird.
Yeah, and then I can.
There you go. So
I can use it like an ink.
You have been shall we say, a mirror of an typical American politician. I've asked you on repeated occasions to give me a number of who's the snob and who's the knob this week, and you're still faffing.
All right, the snob, number one, spending $28,000. That's the snob, and the knob, number two, the killer beer people. The others, I just would enjoy making fun of them. The other two are just stupid.
Yeah. Okay.
So there you go.
Well, what can I say? What can I say? I just thought we had to have some cheesy music to go with it because we are a magazine show, and magazine shows have it appears.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Are we going to have reporters on our new magazine, No Snobs or Knob Show, or how?
Only if. Well, maybe we could do, but we'd have to find them first. Maybe. I think the name of the show puts off a lot of people. Like show, for instance, people don't like that word. But yeah. What can I say?
Kyle, if in Texas, if the mayor of Kyle, Trevor, if you're listening, Trevor, or somebody that knows the mayor, Travis. It begins with a T. I was close enough. If Travis is listening, or somebody in his office has been, I wonder if he's like a full-time mayor, or if it's like he has a real job and he just does it like a part-time mayor. I wonder if they pay him.
Yeah, might be a courtesy job. In which case he doesn't. In which case he doesn't care how many Kyles turn up, other than the fact that
Then that's why he looks. He could be like Jeffrey Dahmer. He could, he needs the money.
Or maybe he owns a pizzeria or something, or a hamburger.
If he owns a pizzeria, I would go. Hey, so Travis, if you own a pizzeria, I'm coming to Kyle. I just need to know where it is. So the mayor of Kyle, we're thinking, whether it's true or not, owns a pizzeria.
Yeah. Because that way it would be really, really interesting to have a world record of Kyles, wouldn't it? Because they'd all be hungry. I mean, if you called Kyle, you'd be gotta eat the pizza.
I like that. Even if he doesn't have a pizzeria, as of right now, the mayor of Kyle, Texas, Travis, has a pizzeria.
He has now.
He does now.
It's a fictitious one.
We don't know that. He may have one.
He may. I
don't even know if there's a pizzeria in Kyle, like a real pizzeria, not like Domino's or Papa John's or one of those. I'm talking like a New York style pizzeria where you fold the pie and eat it like a man.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
not like a little piece of paper. So,
No. Right.
but yeah.
Well, that's
All right.
that sounded a
I
lot.
don't think the Chamber of Commerce of Kyle is going to be asking us to do any commercials for that.
No.
So,
No.
but I will tell you this.
Neither are the pizzerias. What's that? What are you going to
Probably,
tell me?
but I will tell you, Kyle, from what I've seen of it, it's next to New Braunfels and these other places. It's a very quaint, small little town, but the next town over, which is New Braunfels, if I'm not mistaken, has little towns within New Braunfels. It's all very German, but it's very pretty. Kyle,
Did you call it a new? Was it called New Brothel? Is that
New
is this right?
Braunfels? Yeah, New Braunfels or New Braunfels or what? I don't know. New
Yeah,
something
that
or other.
sounds
It's
like
very
something
nice.
completely. It sounds like
Well,
sex
it's where we're
capital
putting
of
the
pain.
next Hilda's House of Pain. We thought about
Yeah,
going
and
to
it's
Kyle, but too many Kyles, so we're gonna move New Braunfels. Go
I
to
mean,
New Braunfels or
New
Hilda's House of Pain.
New Brothel sounds like the sex capital of Texas, doesn't it? We go to New
It does,
Brothel.
but I don't think it. I don't think it is. It has a water park. It's a very nice water park. It's called the New Braunfels Water Park, and they have a drive-through zoo where you can not pet the animals.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Where you can see animals from all over the world, like
we're about
tigers and bears. Yeah.
Because this is a magazine show. We're about to drive through, Stephen. So we're getting there. So
well, before we drive through, everybody, thank you for listening to our nonsense for this 30+ minutes every Wednesday morning. If you have a topic, or if you do know the mayor of Kyle, Texas, have Travis come on the show. Or if you're the mayor of your own city and you want to come on the show, we'll be more than happy to make fun of your city. Don't forget to subscribe and like. You can catch us on wherever you get podcasts. And actually, YouTube now has an app, which I'm sure they've had for a while. But we are on YouTube podcasting. We are on Google, Spotify, Amazon, and Apple. You can catch us everywhere. If you have a suggestion for the show, please feel free to send it to us. And don't forget to subscribe and like and catch us every Wednesday morning.
Yeah, well, like I said, comments below. We're featuring a range of AI babes because, well, there was another thing I was going to show this week, but I have to keep it for next week now. But well, because we've run out of time, I think.
We have time. It's our show.
Oh, that's true. Right. Well, yeah. Well,
we own the channel. We own the station.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, there you go. What are you going to show us?
You're
going to show us the AI babes?
Well, the AI babes, I'm gonna keep right to the end because I just want to say to everybody, these are just AI babes that I found. As you know, I'm allowed to at my age and with a restraining order to only look at AI babes. But if anybody else is making AI babes, please put the comments below, send them to us, and we'll feature them. We're up for it. We'll do that. But in the meantime, because when I was looking for AI babes, I was going to do this earlier in the show. It just seemed to amaze me that incredibly talented people who are using Midjourney and all this AI other stuff were spending their time.
Oh my God!
This. So this is now officially the No Snobs and Knobs Stupid AI Photo of the Week. So, what can I say? What can I say?
People have too much time in their hands. People on the podcast, you're not missing anything.
So we will be featuring this as well when I remember, because it's an age.
If you remember, okay.
If I remember to do it, I was going to do it at the beginning of the show because that would be sort of half a rant for me. Why are you so incredibly talented to produce AI stuff and then come up with stuff like this debate?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Anyway, that's me. Thanks for watching, everyone. And it's sit back, strap in. It's AI babe time.